Tennessee Titans fans, it is that time of week where we get on Reddit and see what Titans fans are saying about the state of the organization. We're going to start on the Two Tone Talk Reddit page. We've got a few posts from that page today. Get on Reddit on that community and leave some questions and comments, and we will get to them every single week. The link to it is in the video description below. We've got a few posts from there, and then we're going to jump over to the Tennessee Titans official Reddit page for some interesting posts from there as well. Let's get things started with this user who said, do we trust a QB drafted by a Titans GM? I know it's a different GM and a different quarterback, but Titans GMs have drafted 11 quarterbacks over the last 26 years, and 0 have played for the team past their rookie contracts. Just swing and miss after swing and miss. How are we supposed to have faith that they're going to hit a home run after so many strikeouts? To find the last QB that was drafted by the franchise that played for us past their rookie deal, you have to go back 3 decades and watch a Houston Oilers draft. So I get it. I get when you look at some of just the doozies of the last 20 years, the Jake Lockers, the Zach Mettenbergers, the Marcus Mariotas, the Will Levises, the Malik Willises, yeah, and I'm forgetting some, but, when you look at all of those, yeah, it's not exactly a great list of guys. And like this user said, it has been swing and a miss after swing and a miss. But you have to keep swinging. That's the thing. Just because it's always been a swing and a miss, you can't stop swinging. You've got to find your guy at some point. And I know you've been wrong for the last 25 years, but maybe that means we're due. Maybe that means we're due one. Listen, out of all of those quarterbacks, I don't know how much this means to people, but out of all of those quarterbacks, I was not high on Jake Locker. I was cautiously optimistic about Marcus. I was not high on Will Levis. I was not too confident in Malik Willis. Zach Mettenberger was like a 6th round pick, so, come on. Cam Ward is the most confident that I have been in a drafted Titans quarterback in my lifetime. In my lifetime, or since Steve, this is the most confident that I have been in a Titans quarterback, and I will be extremely disappointed if it does not pan out, because I really like this kid. I got a great feeling about him, and I know it's hard because you don't want to get hurt again because you've gotten your hopes up about different quarterbacks in the past. But you got to believe this one's going to be the one. Borgonzi, you got to believe he's the one. Brinker, Callahan, Ward, we're due. We're due for one of these to work out. So I have to believe it's our time. QB comparison. A lot of people are comparing Cam Ward to Steve McNair, which I see. I forgot about Vince Young. I saw somebody mention Vince Young there in the comment. If you had to compare them to any other Titans quarterback, who would it be? I think Cam Ward is similar to Mariota, but more vocal and aggressive. Also, shout out to you, Brad, and shout out to my girlfriend, Emma. Out of all the Titans podcasts I listen to, she calls you the funny one. Revolving door of doo-doo. Oh, I forgot about the revolving door of doo-doo. That was, I think, it was either in reference to the Titans' right tackle position or the year before their left tackle position. Is it sad that I don't even know which position the revolving door of doo-doo was referring to? I don't know. Good compare. Interesting follow-up question to the first question. What former Titans quarterback would you compare Cam Ward to other than Steve? I saw in the comments someone said Vince Young. I think Cam Ward has a better arm than Vince Young did, but I do see some of the same athletic type attributes. But the fact of the matter is, you better hope Cam Ward's a million times better than any of those other guys that the Titans have brought in here. At the end of the day, I don't want to have to compare Cam Ward to any of them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man, but I don't want to have to compare Cam to any of those guys. This user said, could this be the 2025 Titans QB2? Do y'all think that we could trade Will Levis to the Browns for Joe Flacco with 6th and 7th round picks? So then Joe Flacco could be our QB2. I don't think that's going to happen. For one thing, Cleveland's got a lot going on with their quarterback position right now. They drafted 2 different people. They got Kenny Pickett. They still got Deshaun Watson looming in the distance. I actually think Joe Flacco's got a pretty good chance to be their starting quarterback week 1. And on the Titans side of things, I just don't. I think if you're talking about a veteran presence for them, I think they've got Brandon Allen, and they've got Brian Callahan's got history with Brandon Allen. So I think if you're looking for veteran backup to have in the quarterback room, I think Brandon Allen is probably going to serve as that. I understand Joe Flacco is better than Brandon Allen, but I mean, I just don't see why the Titans would do that. I don't think that would even be worth it, in my opinion. Now this is from the Tennessee Titans page. What is the obsession with changing the logo among some fans? Now, this is a long post, so I'll just read a little bit of it. I personally like our flame logo. I think it's part of our identity. It's what I've always known with this team I grew up loving. And then the user goes on to say, I get changing jerseys, I get changing color schemes and all of that stuff. But, they want to keep the flame logo that the Titans have always had. And I'm glad this user said this because I completely agree. If you want to change uniforms, if you want to change from the dark blue to the light blue, if you want to change the color of the helmet, that's fine. I want to keep the flame logo because every bit of Titans merchandise that I own and that you own has that logo. That is the logo that we've had for the entire time that I've been alive. And I think if you want to have a new era and you want to have a new look Titans, you can do that without changing the logo. I think the logo, something's got to be sacred, right? Something's got to be sacred that we say, hey, that's always going to be a part of who we are. We might change the colors around. We might make one color more prominent than the other. We may change the color of the jerseys and the helmets. We may change the font of the digits on the jersey. But we will not change the logo. We're going to keep the logo because we want to never forget where we came from. I agree with this user. Don't change the logo. But uniforms, fine. John Cena showed some love to Warren Moon passing the torch to Cam Ward on his Instagram. Now, that's clearly an AI photo, obviously. But I don't really know I don't know why John Cena did this. I'm a big wrestling fan too. John Cena uploads very random posts to his Instagram all the time with no caption, no explanation. So I don't know if this is John Cena's way of saying he's a fan of the Titans, a fan of Warren Moon, a fan of Cam Ward, a fan of all of those. Is it symbolic of him getting ready to pass the torch to someone else in wrestling? I don't know. I think you could argue he's already passed the torch to the tribal chief, but okay. Another long post, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this user said, what are your biggest concerns for this season? And they went on to say most of their concerns are on the defensive side of the ball. Talked about linebackers, secondary, edge rush, and so on. For me, my biggest concerns are on the defensive side of the ball as well. Edge rush, I agree with this user. Edge rush, I know we drafted Femi Oladejo with the 2nd-round pick, and I hope he ends up being good. But the edge rush position, you just know, is going to be one the Titans have to address next offseason because they addressed it this offseason, but that's one you're going to have to continue to address. Arden Key is a fine edge rusher, but you need more. Draymond Jones, I liked that pickup. I think he can contribute. I do think if Femi Oladejo's good, I think there's a chance the Titans edge rushers could be slightly better than last year. But I still think there's going to be work needing to be done there next offseason. Inside linebacker, I'm very concerned about. I think Cody Barton is really the only veteran guy in that group. Cedric Gray is unproven. James Williams is unproven. The guy they picked up from New England is unproven. There's a lot of young guys needing to step up at that linebacker position. And in the secondary, I think the secondary is in stable condition, but L'Jarius Sneed's got to get his legal stuff figured out. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to get healthy. Jarvis Brownlee, I mean, it's just like a ton of other positions with guys like Tavondre Sweat and Tyjae Spears. You know, you're looking at Jarvis Brownlee to make a big step. He's a guy who's going to have to step up. Roger McCreary, I think, on a contract year, so he's going to be under pressure to have a good year. They drafted a corner in the 6th round, but you know how that's a shot in the dark. So I think the secondary is at least in stable condition, probably in better position than the linebackers or the edge rushers, in my opinion. Those are my biggest concerns. Not to say there's no concerns on offense. I'm always going to be concerned about the offensive line. I'm always going to be concerned about wide receiver. I hope A.O. Manor and Chim DK add something to the mix. But, you know, with rookies, you don't know until you see it on the field in September. Last but not least, this user said the voices are coming back from last offseason, and they are saying 11-6 is possible. And there you see the Titans' opponents, and the schedule comes out Wednesday. But you look at, I'm looking at the schedule here. And I mean, I hate to even talk about this in May because you just never know. But, I mean, listen, the Chiefs are going to be tough. Chargers are going to be tough. Rams are going to be tough. Seahawks will probably be okay. Patriots, who knows? Saints, probably one of the worst teams on the schedule. I think the AFC South will be open to win some of those games. Broncos, I don't know. See if they can continue to build on the success they had last year. Raiders, I think they're still going to be building. Arizona, probably not going to be very good. San Francisco, trying to rebuild things. Cleveland, I don't think is going to be very good. So, I mean, listen, you kind of split it down the middle. There's some tough games there. A lot of them are home games for Titans. But, I mean, I remember last year looking at the schedule and thinking like, oh, the Titans can beat Minnesota. The Titans, they can sweep Jacksonville, Indianapolis, but it's a crapshoot. You never know. There are some winnable games there, but it's just a lot of uncertainty. You've got quarterbacks on new teams, rookie quarterbacks coming in. We don't know what we're going to get from Cam Ward exactly. We don't even know who Cleveland's starter is going to be. And it depends on when you play these teams too, because I'd love to play Cleveland early because they're probably going to be figuring out their quarterback position. And if they start one of the rookies, you'd rather play a rookie early when they're still figuring it out than later. Indianapolis, I don't know what they're going to be doing with their quarterback position. I don't know. Chiefs are going to be impossible to beat probably. But anyway, hey, I'm not going to fault anybody for having hope. I'm not going to fault anybody for having hope, and we'll find out exactly how the schedule pans out on Wednesday. That's the Titans Reddit segment for this week. Hit me up on the Two Tone Talk Reddit page, and you'll be featured next week. Tighten up. Bye.